RICARDO LUNA, conductor, chorus master, composer, arranger, singer. Ricardo Alejandro Luna was born in Buenos Aires on April 20, 1970, where he graduated in composition, orchestral and choir conducting at the Pontifical Catholic University of Argentina, with 3 master's degrees. He participated in masterclasses for choral and orchestral conducting in Argentina and Europe, including courses with Kurt Major in Buenos Aires, Professor Michael Luig in Cologne, and Professor Erwin Asel in Vienna. Ricardo Luna has been living in Vienna, Austria since 2000, where he completed postgraduate studies in conducting and composition at the University of Music and Performing Arts. During this time he also expanded his musical spectrum by singing as a professional baritone and choral soloist in the Wiener Singverein, Vienna Singing Society, and the Arnold Schoenberg Chair Wien, with renowned ensembles under leading conductors and with celebrated soloists such as Nikolaus Harnoncourt, among others, Beethoven's Choral Fantasy, Warner Classics as a soloist with Luba Organesova, and the Chamber Orchestra of Europe, live on Austrian Broadcast 01, Sir Simon Rattle, Zubin Mehta, Daniel Barenboim, Pierre Boulez, Seiji Ozawa, Claudio Abbado, Maurice Janssens, Georges Pretri, and Progetto Pollinia in Salzburg, Paris, Tokyo, and Rome with Maurizio Pollini. As a conductor he led concerts in the most prestigious concert halls in Austria and Argentina, Wiener Musikverein, Wiener Konzerthaus and Teatro Buenos Aires, as well as the musical accompaniment during a high mass celebrated by Pope Francis at the St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City. Luna worked with renowned artists such as Bernarda Fink, Ildiko Raimondi, Christopher Hinterhuber, and Alexander Kaimbacher. He gave his first concerts in Europe with Bruckner's First Symphony in Vienna and Bartók's Concerto for Orchestra in Szombathely, Hungary. Subsequently, he led the Wiener Konzertverein, the chamber orchestra of the Vienna Symphony, the symphony orchestra of the Wiener Volksoper, the Concilium Musicum Wien, the Ensemble Prisma Wien, the chamber orchestra of Perugia, the Severia Symphony Orchestra, the Aradia Philharmonic Orchestra, as well as the Orquesta Sinfónica Municipal de San Martín, Buenos Aires, among others. A special highlight was his project Eroica to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the premiere of Beethoven's Third Symphony. The first part of this project took place in Buenos Aires in 2004 with his triumphant debut at the Teatro Colon. The second part was held in 2005 in Vienna in the large broadcasting hall of the ORF. Ricardo Luna's musical work and interpretations have attracted the attention and recognition of important conductors. Mr. Ricardo Luna is well known to me for many years both as a vocal soloist and conductor. I consider him very talented and extraordinarily well educated. I feel his musical concepts are very convincing and natural. He owns the capacity and authority to transmit these concepts to the performers. I consider him worthy to make a formidable career as a musical interpreter, and I wish him all the best with his work. Nikolaus Harnoncourt found these words of praise for Ricardo Luna at the beginning of his musical career in Vienna. In August 2005, the Instituto Universal de las Naciones awarded Ricardo Luna the title of Nobleza Meritocrática and the Estrella Académica Universal Award in Buenos Aires in recognition of his services as Argentina's cultural ambassador. In 2006, Luna was appointed artistic director of the Vienna Madrigal Choir. In 2007, he presented his Bruckner cycle in the Vienna St. Stephen's Cathedral, Bruckner motets, as well as in 3 other cathedrals and monasteries in different provinces in Austria. Dr. Johannes Leopold Meyer, musicologist and organist, repeatedly invited Ricardo Luna to interviews as part of his series Intrada on 01, Austrian broadcast. In the same year he conducted the Austrian premiere of Aconcagua, the Bandoneon Concerto by Aestia Piazzolla, at the Wiener Konzerthaus, and in 2008 he made his debut at the second choral orchestral concert with the Vienna Madrigal Choir in the Golden Hall of the Vienna Musikverein, in continuation of the Bruckner cycle with the composer's 2 greatest choral orchestral works, Te Deum and Great Mass No. 3 in F minor, first performance of the 1883 version. As chorus master of other Viennese choirs, he conducted For's Requiem at the Imperial Court Chapel, Schutz's Magnificat settings at the St. Michael's Church, and prepared the choir part of Mendelssohn's of Elijah for a concert in the Wiener Musikverein. 2009 he founded Harmonia Vocali Wien, a professional vocal instrumental ensemble focused on sacred music, which performs regularly at the St. Peter's Church, Vienna. 2011 Riccardo Luna was appointed Kapellmeister and Cantor, musical director and cantor of the St. Charles Church Vienna, where he conducted programs for high masses primarily with works for soloists, choir and orchestra of the Baroque and Viennese classical periods. 2012 Luna was invited as chorus master and conductor to the Narnia Arts Academy, a master class of international level in Italy, where he conducted Mozart's Coronation Mass and Handel's Hallelujah. Two of his great compositions were premiered in Vienna in the same year, the Grande Messe Saint Michel Opus 17, under his baton at the St. Peter's Church, as well as the Birth of Wainamoinen Opus 18 at the Kaisersaal. Among his most important early compositions are the Sonata for Violin and Piano by Thomas Hardy and The Myth of the Earth Opus 9, 1994, which is associated with his short story Sir Thomas Hardy, 1993, and the string quartet Images from the Subconscious Opus 11, 1995. Both were premiered in Buenos Aires at the Faculty of Music of the Catholic University. In 2013, he made his debut in Florida, USA, with a New Year's concert with works by the Strauss dynasty. Further guest conducting engagements have led Luna back to Italy, where since 2013 he has conducted the internationally acclaimed Chamber Orchestra of Perugia together with various choirs from Umbria and important works of great masters such as Vivaldi, Bach, Mozart, Verdi and Bruckner. As an arranger and conductor, he presented his first CD in 2013, Bruckner Unknown, Praiser Records Vienna, in which he arranged, reconstructed and orchestrated for chamber ensemble individual movements of Bruckner's First and Ninth Symphonies. Among the numerous world premiere recordings on this CD are the sketch for the first movement of a B-flat major symphony and the second setting of the Graduale Christus Factus ist WAB 10 particular highlights. Bruckner Unknown has been highly acclaimed by international critics in the following countries: Austria, Germany, Switzerland, Great Britain, France, the Benelux countries, Denmark, Norway, Greece, Italy, Sweden, Czech Republic, Russia, Australia, and Japan. Shortly after the CD presentation, Riccardo Luna was once again invited for an interview on Intrada on O1 Austrian broadcast, where some of Bruckner's symphonic movements as well as excerpts from his own Grande Messe Saint Michel Opus 17 were broadcasted live. 2014, Luna founded the choir of the St. Charles Church Vienna, with which he collaborated with the choir of the Sistine Chapel on the 2nd of February 2018 in St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican, during a solemn Mass celebrated by His Holiness Pope Francis. This Mass was broadcasted worldwide live on TV as well as on the Internet. Another highlight of the choir's successful first tour was the televised service, RAI1, in Terni Cathedral on February 4th. The Holy Mass, at which Luna also conducted the choir of the Diocese of Ternanani Emilia, Umbria, Italy, was watched by 1,655,000 viewers in Italy. In 2015, Luna received a commission from the St. Charles Church Vienna for the composition of a fanfare that serves as the anthem of the church and as entrance music of major celebrations. The fanfare of the St. Charles Church Vienna Opus 19 was premiered on the 8th of November at the High Mass for the patron saint of St. Charles Borromeo under Luna's conduction. In 2020 he composed the Missa Antiphonales Opus 22, a German ordinary for congregational chant and organ, which was commissioned by the St. Peter's Church Vienna. The premiere, without the Gloria, took place in December of the same year at the St. Charles Church Vienna, with Riccardo Luna singing the cantor part. The 2nd of October, 2021 marked the 10th anniversary of his taking over the reconstruction of the church music at St. Charles Borromeo, Vienna, which he led as Kapellmeister and cantor for 12 years. Riccardo Luna is considered one of the most important Bruckner scholars and interpreters of the 21st century. His work at the service of Bruckner's music is not limited to its international dissemination, but is characterized by nothing less than the premiere, completion, and orchestration of unknown works and fragments or the production of their first recordings. On the 2nd of July, 2022, Luna conducted Bruckner's 150th Psalm and movements from Symphonies No. 0 and No. 9 as well as Schubert's Unfinished at the Unknown and Unfinished concert in Bolton, England. The highlight of the concert, however, were the world premieres of sketches of unknown symphonies by Bruckner which Riccardo Luna harmonized, completed, orchestrated and performed together with the Bolton Symphony Orchestra, John Matthias, actor, as Bruckner, Ben Kersley, solo viola, the choirs, the BMS singers, BCMCS. Luna also wrote the script for the actor's performance of Anton Bruckner. The official premiere of his second Mass, the Missa Antiphonales, took place on the 14th of April, 2024 in the Vienna Cathedral, Wiener Stephansdom. On this occasion his ensemble Harmonia Vocali Wien, conducted by the composer, took part in the performance. The Mass was broadcast live on Radio Classic Stephansdom. On the 17th of August, 2024, in the context of the bicentenary of Anton Bruckner's birth, an artistic portrait of Riccardo Luna was presented at ORF3, Austrian TV, during a program of Unser Österreich, Genuskultur, Bruckner's heirs, in connection with his work on the composer's oeuvre. On the 4th of September, commemorating the aforementioned Bruckner bicentenary, Luna presented on his YouTube channel a video of his own production, documenting the concert recorded in 2022 in Bolton, England. On the 9th of October, 2024, this video was also projected during a lecture at the Austrian Society for Music in Vienna with the participation of internationally renowned musicologists. On the 13th of October, a new performance of his Missa Antiphonales Opus 22 took place in the context of a solemn Mass at the St. Peter's Church in Vienna, for which it was commissioned. Riccardo Luna published an article with a detailed analysis of the works in the above-mentioned video documentation in the November 2024 issue of the Bruckner Journal from the USA. The premiere of his Kaiserjubelorgelfest fanfare took place on the 1st of November during the High Mass of All Saints on the Bruckner organ of the parish church of St. Nicholas at the city of Bad Ischl, Upper Austria. Riccardo Luna, among other projects, is currently working on a commission of the Musikwissenschaftlicher Verlag, musicological publishing house in Vienna, Austria, for the realization of the piano reduction, new edition, of Anton Bruckner's Great Mass No. 3 in F minor.